2 guests one day.
Yeah.
2 guests one day.
We get one of our own, Emily, the
Yep.
lead support broker
Happy
in the
to be here.
Northeast region. Thank God for her.
Emily, how long have you been with us now? I should know this.
It'll be close to 2 years.
Darn.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it feels like everyone has been here since day one.
Mhm.
And then another day, it feels like we're just new.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Emily's another one of the people like me who was the wrong time, wrong place at
Yes.
first, and then it was the
Mhm.
right place, right time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we both.
It was just meant to be.
Yep.
So you originally started on the housing, remember?
Oh, it was housing. I guess I
She
didn't
was.
realize that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She worked with our member in Green Bay. All of us worked with him, and you were the one who ended up getting him housed.
Starts with the J?
Yes.
Oh, really?
So, and
Yep.
then it was.
He's the man that I followed into the basement.
That sounds right.
That's the story that I always tell. Yep.
Oh, goodness.
So you started, and then you recognized, nope, it's not the right time right now.
Mhm.
And then you came back to us, and we were so excited that you came back to us. And you came back on the support broker side versus the housing side.
Yes. And when I stepped into that role, I'm like, okay, everything happened the way it was supposed to happen.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because I think you were going to dabble in housing, and then you're like, not it.
Which is so funny because I've been a real estate agent for
Right.
8 years. So you would assume housing would be where I'd fall into. But my caregiver background is what makes me just really have a passion for support worker side.
When was the first time you learned of self-direction?
Through Community Horizons.
Mhm.
I'd never heard of it before, and I've been in the healthcare agency since I was 18. And this is the first
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
And I wasn't about to admit it until I really understood it, but I did not know what a support broker was for like the first 6 months that I worked for you. Not a clue. Absolutely not a clue. I really just could not wrap my brain around why it was called that. Like I just in what we were doing underneath that. It took like 6 months.
To be fair, I trained you.
That's funny.
It was probably a very stressful time at that time. The growth rates,
I don't
But
even
I
remember.
feel like I just kind of threw you in, like, figure it out.
Yeah.
I gave you direction.
Oh, yeah.
That was about it.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's very much my personality style too. So like, don't feel like that
Mhm.
was offensive to me because honestly, like I would have like been kicking away anyway because I'm like,
Get
just let me
away.
touch it. Just let me touch it. I have to feel it. I have to
Yeah.
touch it. Let me do it, and then I'll figure it out. But the nice thing is that I always ask questions.
Yes.
I don't ever go
You
rogue.
figured it out.
Yeah, I don't go
Took
rogue.
6 months, but you
Yep,
figured it
to
out.
figure out what a support broker was.
And honestly, the employees that we have that do that are the ones that succeed the most.
Yes.
Mhm.
Is just hit the ground running, you know your fundamentals, and run
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah,
Yep.
like and taking it in like sizable chunks. Like a big chunk of what we do is recruiting. So like if you've
Mhm.
met the member and you know what their needs are, recruit for it. We at least usually hire that background.
Yep.
After that, like more comes and more comes. Like I had extensive background in recruiting, but that advocacy part, even though I did it in my personal life and I'd done it
Mhm.
little bits in facility work, I never got to do it on the way that we're doing it now. Like really moving the dial forward for a lot of people that we work with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I joke around like at almost every orientation. I'm like, it's okay if you don't know what you're doing right now because I didn't for at least 6 months. I mean, I was doing it, but like why I was doing it was a little bit of a mystery.
Yeah. You were doing it.
Mhm.
You were
Yeah,
doing
I
the job.
loved it. I loved it. Yeah, it's just that I couldn't wrap my brain around like why we were called support brokers. Like, am I doing something wrong? Because I'm not a broker. Like, I'm so confused. But this is my black and white personality.
Brokerage. Yep.
What am I brokering? I don't get it. Because I don't even have any choice in who I'm hiring. So I'm not even like brokering the caregivers because I have no choice.
Well, that's
Isn't that
because
weird?
brokerage started as like helping create plans and manage budgets and things like that.
Because of the transformation.
So yeah, support broker term has been around since the movement of self-direction, and the scope has changed of our services, but the term has not.
The term needs to change because it's so confusing. It's one of the hardest roles to recruit for because who knows what a support broker is?
Right,
I
how do
really
you-
emphasize support.
Yeah,
In advocacy.
advocacy and support. And our whole team comes from a very similar background.
Mhm.
Not only similar, but a lot of our team comes from a personal background
Yep.
as well. And that's why I asked, when's the first time you heard? Because I think there's only one person on our team that has a personal connection with self-direction that actually knew what self-direction was prior to coming to us.
Wow.
So you have a personal connection. Like, how is it you didn't know of self-direction being in the world? That's always and that's why we tell everybody, that's why we're doing this podcast. That's why we're putting ourselves out there, because self-direction is not new. Support broker services is not new, but it's still not widely known about. It's still not talked about. And I feel like it's getting better year after year. And the more that we immerse ourselves into it and the more that we learn about it, but none of us have known anything about this world prior to getting into it.
Yeah, till we were here. And it's the best. It's the best. And I don't know that I could have truly appreciated it had I not come from a heavy facility background and like home care agency background. I don't know that I could truly appreciate self-direction, because it is the flip of when you go with agency support, a good chunk of the time you get the caregiver that they have available at the time they have available, and they are truly going to dictate your cares to some way because they have liabilities they have to like skirt. So they may be able to do A, B, and C of your cares, but not the rest of it. So you have to figure that out on your own type of thing. I had a really harsh experience with that in my earlier years. This was a gentleman who would sit on his front porch and wait for people to walk by. And if they looked nice, he would ask them if they would come inside and shower him.
Oh my goodness.
Because there was
That's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, because there was no one else to do it and he had no resources. And the provider that he used, the MCO provider that he used, did not allow, I don't exactly understand it. So agency could not shower him because of the funding. It had to be MA funded.
Yes.
So our agency, who we were working for him, could not shower him. Could not do his very basic shower. So he would pay randos off the street $20 to come inside and shower him.
So what I don't understand, and another thing that I have learned over the years in the IRIS world, you have to have your S5125 covered before your S130. Again, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But the person that you hire for supportive home care could do personal care. But you have to have this one covered prior to this one. So we need some IRIS consultants.
Yeah, to really like break that down.
Please come explain this to us.
Yeah.
And it's probably a policy, right?
Oh, sure. I mean, that's what it all boils down to, but just understanding it. Again, coming back to the understanding, like I want to understand it, all of it, so that I can better advocate. But that was really harsh. That was when I realized that people were going without very basic.
I wonder if anyone ever went in and showered him.
Yeah, he
off
did.
The streets.
They did.
Good for them.
Yeah, and he lived in like just a random like decent neighborhood in Appleton, and he would just wait for people to walk by that looked nice, and they'd come inside and shower him for $20 cash. And
that could take. I mean, that can go a couple different ways.
It could go so and you could get robbed blind. Right. I mean, for the love of God, I mean that's like it doesn't get any more intimate than that.
No, it does not. Can you come shower me?
Yeah,
here's $20.
Not to mention the legal implications. Like, there's a young girl walking past, and you're offering $20 to come shower me.
Yeah,
but
that could end very badly.
Yeah,
but that's horrible.
I know
that is horrible.
But that's when I realized like the agencies were bound by their own rules, and we could not shower them. And then knowing that I had staff in there already that has the ability and the training and the know-how to do so, and they weren't allowed to, was like ugh.
Well, and somebody who doesn't have the supports, who identifies that, right?
What do you mean?
Like, is he going back and saying, I need, this agency's not doing this, I need somebody to shower me? Who's identifying that he needs this service?
Everyone needs a shower.
Right, everyone needs a shower, but why is he not getting it?
I know. Yeah.
That's
this member, this person was an IRIS participant.
Okay,
and it was the consultant. The consultant wasn't consulting, is what it kind of came down to back then. And this was years upon years ago. But that was like really sad to me, and I knew nothing back then, like about like the outside world of the like of self-direction, or like the differences between Iris and the difference between like an MCO. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to figure it out and get this guy a shower, but it was just like that's when I realized like, ugh, like not everyone can help.
Were you able to advocate for him and make any change in the house?
I ended up calling APS. I had to call APS.
Okay.
Oh, I get it. Okay. So under the agency, because the agency has to be MA approved, they have to bill that personal care under
Correct.
the Medicaid.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Not under his budget plan.
Yeah, they need to go through
Got it.
Medicaid
Okay.
or the MA budget or however that works. But yeah, because I was agency.
And that agency wasn't eligible for that. Yep.
And there's like, back then anyway, there were years long wait lists for MA.
Yep.
The companies that could bill against that budget, years wait list just for a 1 hour shower. Yeah, I feel like that's around the time that I started to like lose a little bit of faith in humanity.
Knowing you, how many times did you shower this gentleman?
I was super pregnant. I couldn't.
So he was self-directing just instead of out of his budget, he was self-directing out of his pocket.
Right.
He was self-directing.
He
was finding his
making
own.
Well, again, going back to the resourcefulness of
Yeah.
the people we serve. He
Yeah.
figured it out. He figured out a way not to
Well, you
die.
have
Like,
to.
and
Like, how do you, as a human being, you have to put yourself in their position and think, oh, people need help.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I feel like that's like in apartment buildings. We hear about it all the time. Like the people who will go, not harassed, but they do feel harassed. Like they're always knocking on my door needing something. It's because they need something. Like yeah, it could be annoying, but they need something.
They're missing a piece of their life.
Yep. They're missing services.
Support.
So like, yeah, it's just, there's holes. There are definitely some holes.
Yeah.
That's where we come in.
Mm-hmm.
If they can get connected anyway.
Right.
So have you taken anything in the self-direction world and applied it more towards your personal now that you know more about it?
Definitely. My father's disabled and I have a child with autism. And so I thought that I was an advocate before, but now after having this job, it's just, you just feel so powerful. You don't know what's out there unless you go looking for it. And the same with self-direction. You don't know what it is because you may not need it at the time, but it's something that I just love that is becoming more, people are becoming more aware of it because you never know when you're going to need it.
Mm-hmm. You don't. I mean, one catastrophic, how many clients do we have? One catastrophic accident later, you're in full blown, long-term care. So yeah, you just don't know what you're going to need in the future.
Right.
Yeah, I've taken a bunch from what I do professionally into my personal world. Big time. What I realized when I was still agency and I was still like on the facility side was talking to everyone. I'm like, if you do not have long-term care insurance, get it, because holy cow, that's like gives you the opportunity to have a much different quality of life when you're aging. And then on the self-directed side, I mean, there's no way I'd ever go agency. I just know too much. I always give it the we talk about this a lot. Like once you've worked at McDonald's, you don't want to eat at McDonald's. When you do this and you see all these caregivers' names come through, and it's like, it just is so hard to invite them into your homes. Like that's where that empathy comes from. And with parents that we work with, they're like, yeah, I'd be really cautious too, like super cautious about who you're inviting into your home.
Absolutely.
And so I brought that, into my personal world too. Being very cautious and knowing that even though someone fronts really well at an interview or on a phone screen, they could still show up in a sports bra with their whole family. You just don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And something that really helps me in my personal life that I applied to my everyday job is with my son with his autism diagnosis. I see these families that I service. There's anything that they come to me, I completely understand because I live that too day in, day out. And it just, I'm able to give them that reassurance and, shine light on things that aren't readily available. That, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I would
just
have
feel
to
like we can
say
make a big difference.
I have learned way more from our kid members than I think I have given them. Every time I go into one of their homes, I walk away with like, didn't know that was an option. Like every time I'm in their homes. So they have brought so much value to my existence.
Absolutely. And then you see, you think your life is so difficult and the challenges that you face day in and day out. And then we walk into some of our households and you just see your own life in a different view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it
definitely
just
do.
empowers me so much to work that much harder to
Mhm.
help them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that goes back to like, as a company, we don't recruit for people we don't know. It's why we meet our members, why we want
Mhm.
to meet our families. Because yeah, until you see the way they're doing life, like you can't really recruit for them, because how do you even describe that?
Mhm.
You know, I love going into the home so that I can give the person that I'm speaking to over the phone on a phone screen real information about this family. Not just that they have a kid or two who are on the autism spectrum. No, I want to tell them how they're doing life, you
Mhm.
know, and like the things that are important to them as a family, because every family is different and they're all very much organized differently and they all have
Right.
different values. And so like making sure that they know like this is the family that I'm supporting right now and this is what they are looking for. This is what is important to them, and see if it's a match.
Right.
Or if it's something that they can engage in. You know, like we have a couple members that are super chaotic, and they might need something more black and white, but then we have some really, really black and white families that
Mhm.
someone who's a little bit more chaotic in their personal life might not fit in. So like just knowing those little fine details
Yeah.
about each and every person that we serve.
Yeah. And one thing that I've really noticed, especially lately with the kiddo side of things, is a roadblock that we're seeing with self direction is that these families are underwater.
Oh, they're so underwater.
They
By the
are
time
going
we
to
meet them.
therapy. They are going to ABA. They are handling tantrums from sun up until sun. They're exhausted, and many of them have to work to survive. And so then we come in and we're like, well, we can help you, but they know they need the help, but it's getting from A to B.
It's overwhelming.
It's
It's so overwhelming.
overwhelming.
And we have to look at our systems. And I'm like, what do you mean? We have a structure, right? Our system works. And then Jamie's like, opening the door to me that you guys have people in and out of the homes all the time,
Mhm.
right? It's on the adult side, it's different. They typically have more availability.
They do. Yeah.
On the
Mhm.
kids side, I'm not as involved in that side because you guys have taken that and absolutely ran with it.
Mhm.
So when I sit and listen to these conversations, I'm thinking, wow, are we putting up more barriers than we are helping? Right?
I think that this is going to be like a lengthier conversation, like that as a company we'll have to really, really dive into, because I think that we almost need to operate differently with the kiddos' families.
Yeah.
But still have standards, right? Like,
Yep.
because it's the same but different. Because it is so different. It is just
It is so different, but I will say that my perspective on it is that we are making a difference.
Absolutely.
Even if I haven't been able to get into a member's home for, let's say, 3 weeks, I am at least getting a like, thank you so much for what you're doing.
Awesome.
She may not be able to confirm an interview because that's just too much for her on her plate, but she goes out of her way to say, like, you guys are doing awesome, thank you so much. Because when she's ready to take that next step, she knows, like, we have a pile of applicants ready to go. And so I think just knowing that someone's working for them is helping.
Yeah.
And I think every family is going to be different. It's going to be member specific.
Absolutely.
This one might be, so our systems have to adapt to every single person, whether they're adult or kid. But this is a new journey for us.
Very
I can't
much.
say new. We've been, it's over a year now that we.
I think we were just talking. I think we just hit the year, didn't we? In this winter.
Goodness. It went by so fast.
It's February.
Yeah, I think it was deep winter that we hit our year. So yeah, and we have been successful in our model. We have been very successful getting staff for these kids' families. But I think that we can do not better, but I think like structurally we can do better. We can like figure out a way to work with them and their availabilities and what they need differently to make them more successful. And I don't know, like I said, I think it's gonna be a bigger conversation because like it seems so minor, but like in my personal right now in my inbox, I have 2 enrollment forms I need to fill out for my kids to get enrolled with LKI because I'm onboarding somebody and I cannot get to it. Right. And it's what I do for a living. Like, and I can't get to it.
Yep.
And like if the mental load, like I know it's there and I know that I could do it when the kids go to bed if they go to bed. But like the mental load is so heavy. I'm like, I just can't. Like I physically can't. And that's why like I have so much empathy for these families because I know
Exactly.
that's exactly where they're at.
Mhm.
They desperately need a caregiver in their home. They're afraid to have a caregiver in their home. They also have their paperwork sitting in their inbox and a support broker who wants to meet with them. Like,
Mhm.
and I
I
just, so I get it.
know.
It's tough. It is tough. And then trying to work a full-time job on top of it.
Mhm.
And providing the education of being proactive. Right now is the prime time to start looking for summer care.
Mhm.
Like
Yep.
we often find school's out, I need summer care. Awesome. We'll
And
do
that-
our best.
And that summer
Yeah.
care, so both of us have disabled kids.
Mm.
That this is mind-blowing to me. Everyone needs summer care. Most parents, whether your kid is typical or has a need summer care. I had no idea until we started working with CLTS that in order for these kiddos to access camps, they needed a one-on-one support. That's the bulk of who we recruit for summer care. It's not for in-home.
That's crazy.
It is so that they can go to
Depends on the
daycare.
camp too.
I'm not going to name drop it, but the one it's essentially childcare on a larger scale,
Mhm.
and they need one-on-one care to be able to go. And then we do have the one for childcare. So like, I had no idea until we were doing this that it was a need, and it feels terrible, honestly, because it's hard. It's a hard thing to recruit for.
Summer it is. Yeah, it is. And who's your prime people? College
kids and special ed programs. Really, that's who I'm targeting.
Mhm.
Can high school kids do it?
They can, yeah, because CLTS
So you can be 16?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and a lot of the kiddos that we support don't need rides because either CLTS is supporting that or the parents are already planning to pick other kids up
Mhm.
from the same programming. But yeah,
And
that is
off of that too, a lot of programs are just overnight telling the parents you need a one-on-one. We can't control your child.
yeah. And some
And
of
then
the
they're
kiddos that
scrambling.
we support, I mean, they need help, but do they need one-on-one care for their entire day? No,
Right. We have
absolutely
several
not,
like that.
because they're not
Mhm.
getting one-on-one care at school all day long.
Mhm.
What's the difference? Sorry, that's on my soapbox because it really upsets me
Oh.
actually that they need one-on-one care to access something like that.
Right.
That is very interesting to me because, like, can it be 2-on-1? Like, are there all camps like that? That's intriguing, I guess.
Like what do you mean 2-on-1? Like
You have to have a 1-on-1, and these camps don't provide the staff, so you have to bring your own staff.
Right.
Right.
No, and no
I
other
know
model.
based off my mom was a director of a daycare that in summer the ratio is higher.
I think it's like 1 to 24.
So that's when they become
Something
really
like
strict
that.
with the one-on-one so that they can't be liable if something happens to them.
But like most of our kids that we're supporting in that setting, like they're not elopement risks. A lot of them really just have like ADHD type tendencies. Like they need help putting on like tying their shoes and going to the bathroom. But like again, like my soapbox, and just it kind of sucks that the families are struggling this hard for a very small amount of care, so that they can access essentially childcare.
Right.
So that's the bulk of what we're being asked to for the summer. We have a couple that are in home, but most of them are actually in facility,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a challenge.
Sure is.
Yeah, that was very eye opening to me. I didn't even know you could do that. I kind of thought that there was some ADA type, just that was protected, but it's not. I looked into it.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah, that I looked into it as soon as we got our first referral. I'm like, how is that not protected?
Yeah.
Like, how come they don't have to accommodate that? And my sister, she works in the school district. She's like, Jamie, it's not part of the school, so they don't have to accommodate. It's a private company. Like, that's true.
They find their loopholes.
Find their loophole to get out of it.
There's always a loophole.
There's always a loophole.
There's always a loophole, always a workaround, always something.
Yeah, and the world has changed a whole bunch, and I think there's a lot of empowerment, like with being able to request certain things like that if they want the care. Because like my kiddo, my adult kiddo, he had seizures when he was younger, and he never needed a one-on-one to be able to be in childcare setting. He was in childcare settings his whole life, so like I just was like very much taken aback by that.
Something new.
I think so. I think they're empowered to do it. I think there's like they kind of like with rent charges, they got away with rent being 2 times market. So they're just going to take advantage of it. Likewise, they've got into a position where they can ask it because through COVID, no one had childcare. So now they can ask for whatever they want because everyone needs care.
So do you have to pay since you're bringing your own staff?
You do. And that's the kicker. And it's not cheap.
That's what's
It is not cheap.
So if you're still paying,
because you're paying childcare rates,
how do they not have to supply the staff if you're paying?
I know that's where that's why it's mind blowing to me, because it's not like you're getting a discount. Like if you bring your own staff, we'll give you $100 off a week. And I haven't looked into that specific camp in a while, but it's typical childcare rates. I do believe it's somewhere in the ballpark of like $200 a week.
That's actually cheap.
Yeah, but still, like that's.
It's a lot of money.
And then bring on your own staff. Like,
yeah,
bring your own. And how honestly, like, I've thought about it. Like, I could never do that position. I would be bored out of my mind because the kids that we're supporting are not truly one-on-one kids. They don't need you with them the whole day. So you are literally just going to stand there and wait for that one moment that he's like has an outburst or needs his shoe tied or, can't put on a swimming suit. Like, that's what they're waiting for an entire 9-hour day.
Right.
But if anyone's out there looking for a job, it's an easy job. Like it's an easy gig. Yeah. Like you'll probably meet a lot of other people your age because that's usually at those camps, a lot of those teachers are college kids. So probably meet a lot of and you'll get really good experience for if you're in a special ed program or an early education program. There's a lot of benefits. It just would bore me out of my socks. Like I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely seeing the applicants come in on break from college. They'll look good on the resume.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the perfect people, or the high schoolers. And these high schoolers, I tell you, they are impressing the socks off me. Man, they are so impressive. We have a couple that have been hired on that the quality of work that they're giving, and they're so reliable. Like this, why can't we get this out of our older applicants? But I'm impressed. Well, it just gives me hope.
Yeah,
right.
That the tide is turning because whatever happened to like the 20-somethings,
there was often when I was going through this whole job board stuff, I did a lot of research on just different generational things, and I heard so many times, these kids are lazy. These people are lazy. No, they're resourceful.
They're very resourceful.
They're not.
They're outsourcing their lives.
They are. They are working smarter, not harder. And you know what? Credit to them.
I know. They figured it out.
I'm like, there's a lot of times where I'm like, how have I not thought of that? That is actually pretty damn smart.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And there's some hard workers. I will say one of the things that I have found is communication preference is text.
Oh, absolutely.
Via phone call.
Yep.
And at some point I'm like, you're going to have to talk to me.
Yep.
But other than that, they are resourceful.
One thing that surprises me though is of that generation. So like I'm talking like 17 to probably 20. They are actually not super tech savvy. And it's that part's a little baffling to me. Like I had to walk someone through a DocuSign. And I'm like, I don't get it. And it's not the first time. I also had to help someone clock their hours into a fairly easy dashboard. And it was lost on them. And I'm like, you were literally born and handed a Kindle. Like, I don't understand, like, how come this is hard? So that part's a little baffling to me. So I don't know if maybe there's some stuff that we learned in high school that they weren't getting because of being the disconnect for the first couple of years of like 8th and 9th grade because of COVID. I don't know. But at the same time, they were on their computers learning. So,
right, they had computers.
Yeah.
We had computer lab.
We had labs, and like our computers were like this big, and they were hot.
And you had to learn how to type and all. Yeah, computer lab. That was a fun class.
Yep. So yeah, that part's a little baffling, but their work ethic, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just met a 16-year-old. It's one of my son's friends. He can rip apart a car, put it together. He can figure it out. I'm like, are you a mechanic? Like 16 years old. And I was shocked. Of like, where did you learn this, first of all? Like just tinkering around. And like the things you can learn if you put your mind to it.
Yep. If you really want to.
Amazing.
Well, there's a lot of opportunity that like we were not afforded in like high school. Like you can graduate from high school right now with pretty much at like the sophomore level in college. Because if you take advantage of every single program offered to you, you can graduate with your CNA, your mechanic license. There's my nephews did what's it called with the hot thing You burn the pipes. Welding.
Oh,
Sorry.
welding.
There we go. Welding.
You burn the pipes.
Oh, I'm going to have to send that one to Jack. Yeah. So he did welding and you can get like actual college credit. So you can graduate with like 3 feet ahead, way more than I think when I was in high school. I don't know that you had to be on like honors to take college credits. You don't have to be in honors anymore to take college credits. You can just take the college credits.
I
Alex
love
is
that
doing accounting right now.
Yeah. Oh, trades are coming
more
back
common
big time.
because when I graduated high school, no one talked about trades.
No. Well, and it's like a dying thing because people want, like, we need trades. I keep telling Alex, if you get into a trade and whether you're in construction or plumbing or electrician or something, people need to do it. Like, get into that.
And it's not going anywhere. It might evolve, but it's not going anywhere. Yep, it's essential. Well, hence why my husband did quite well through his, through COVID, because he was an essential field
worker.
And he was like, everyone hated on me back then, but look at me now. And yeah, it's not going anywhere, and only got bigger through COVID. So
I remember through COVID, when COVID hit, there was this big thing, and I was going out and doing home visits, and somebody asked me, "Why are you out? Why are you in the homes?" I'm like, how are you supposed to not be in the homes during self-direction? They still need care. Like, care doesn't stop. I get that this is a pandemic. I get it. But there's ways that we can take protection, and we did during that time. But I was kind of blown away by that as to, so no one's going to be in the home for how long? Like, we were on lockdown for how long?
Forever. Like
so
3
we
years.
we did virtuals, but not all members were set up to do virtuals. Not everybody had the technology. Not everybody had the ability or capability to do it.
I couldn't even imagine being in that predicament with our current size.
No.
Wow.
No, it was it only me?
I think you had you and Joyce, right? Was it 2 of you?
That was after. I think it was only me. I think it was
we're in
still
2026, and that was 2020 it hit.
2020 it hit, yes. So it was just me.
So just you back then.
Yeah,
okay.
We started growing in 2021.
So that would have been mind-blowing if we had to tackle that now.
Yep.
Right.
Just how, we always learn to adapt. Always. But my biggest concern was, if nobody is in the home, when I get the safety, 100% get the safety, there are certain people that will not tell you, oh, so-and-so quit 2 months ago.
So you've gone.
So you've been gone. Yes. You just been figuring it out. And we ran into that all the time. But on the flip side, I saw a huge trend of people, when COVID hit, people left facilities.
In groves.
And they wanted residential. But I remember when the very first day of lockdown, I was heading to Wausau, and it was a ghost town. There was not a car in sight on the highway. I'm like, this is weird.
Apocalyptic vibes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was back then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is weird. So, everyone was all masked up, and we had our distance, and we made it work. And he got a new hire that day. And it's just, their cares don't stop. It's an essential worker. They still need somebody there. So I'm glad I went that day, because he got a hire.
That's awesome.
So I don't regret going to that home visit.
Well, we just know a whole bunch more now. So but then,
we do.
Then what actually was happening back then. So yeah, that was such a weird time in life. I was staffing I was an agency staffer back then, so I was staffing facilities during COVID, and man, they were rolling in it. Those caregivers with the crisis pay. Wow.
Yeah.
They were making like $53 an hour with their crisis pay. And then it all ends, and they're like, will you take $12 an hour? No.
I had an infant. Brooks was born.
Oh, I was
had a
pregnant
baby,
during 2020.
so I was already, my nesting crazy phase. Was in real estate, and the interest rates dropped to like 2%.
Yep.
So it was chaos. But I didn't want to leave my safe bubble with my kids and my infant.
Yeah.
And funny story, I finally had to step out to go show a house for my family to earn money. and I didn't have gloves or anything. I showed up with dishwasher gloves. I did. And to this day, I'm still friends with that buyer. And to this day, it gets brought up.
I love that story. What, do you have a mask on or just the gloves?
I think I have like a cloth mask.
And they still follow her in the house.
The yellow dish. I'm not even joking.
Yeah. I had people showing up to tour facility in double gloves and like 4 masks. I'm like,
I had an infant. I had the news on 24. It makes you crazy.
The news will.
Yeah.
I had to quit listening. I'll look at weather now, but it's kind of depressing.
Super depressing. I have a hard time watching it even now. I know there's a war going on. I know there's like unrest, and it's like I just can't watch it. I just cannot. I just stick to TikTok, doom scroll.
I still don't understand it, and I'm sorry. I tried last night. I tried doom scrolling. I still can't understand.
Well, it's because your algorithm isn't there yet. Give me your phone for a couple hours. We'll get you on a good algorithm, because I just sit there and crack myself up. I just love laughing. Like that's why. So like when news comes, like no, not my thing. And if you stop watching it, it'll stop showing it to you.
Okay.
So then you can just find the funny stuff, like people falling, and I love watching people fall.
Yes, what is it about that?
I don't know. It's so bad. When my 18, my big kids were little, the rule was that you had to ask if you were okay before you could start laughing. But as long as they were okay, you could laugh. And that was our rule, like our family rule. Yeah, as long as they're okay, you can laugh, because it's just too funny. Yeah, watch people get fall all day long. Yeah.
If I could just scroll through like success stories and happy things, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, that's what I do. It's the happy stuff. I cannot do news right now. It's just too depressing. It's too sad.
It is.
It's too confusing. There's too many. Politically, there's nothing in here. Everything is either one side or the other. So I just stay away from it. Just not doing it. And there's a lot that like intertwines with the work that we do. Mm-hmm. And so that's really confusing. And so but again, I want to be more political, so I want to understand it, but at the same time, I don't want to touch it. So like, it's like, do you really want to understand it if you're not going to engage? But I don't want to engage.
That's the hard part. Like I keep reading. I'm trying to stay on top of all of these changes, and I'm trying to absorb and educate myself. And again, self-direction it should not be complicated. It's pretty straightforward. You take your budget. You have more power, you have more say in not only the supports and the budget, right? But they make it more confusing with the changes that are coming on. It's like me asking you to be a politician with no support. And that's like going into a member's home of, yes, you have the control. You get to do everything. You get to be the employer, but sometimes you need the support to understand what that means. Yeah. Like if you don't have the education, the background, or just the general education on what it means to be your own employer, you can do it. You can be successful. You're going to be more successful if you have support in place. Mm-hmm. So if you don't,
it'd also really help if someone told you that you were the employer.
That would really help. I feel like that's basic. That should be number one.
Yeah, it's not.
Every ground.
It's one of those common sense pieces that was missed. Yeah, but if you had all the tools, then you can do it. But yeah, it's made much more complicated. And as we learned at the, talking to the ladies over at Lakeland, like there's so many language differences, from different providers, from CLTS to the MCO to IRIS. Like the language is just so baffling. Mm-hmm. Like even if you were like to switch from a long-term IRIS participant to the MCO side, the language is different. So you're again like starting over and you're lost because you just have to figure out the language. Funding is the same, language is different. It's very confusing.
I feel like that is something that everybody needs to incorporate into their system, because if you're an IRIS consultant and somebody comes to IRIS, you almost have that assumption that they know what you're talking about. Mm-mm. But they don't, because they were on family care who had different acronyms for everything. And now you're coming over here and you're like, what is this? But it's self-direction. You're the employer. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Do it.
So it's, even though you have somebody who has been self-directing for years upon years, they can go to a different program and still not understand what it is because of the different terminology. So that support still needs to be there. Everybody needs support one way or another in your life.
Yeah. Well, the ladies over at Lakeland, they dropped a couple bombs that I'm going to have to share. So I just learned things that are going to make life a little harder for them.
Oh, no.
Not really harder. But you know, like they said about the wrapping in like PTO and stuff like that into that. I had no idea.
You need to.
Who knew? So
I know.
That's
why
exciting.
do resources have to be so hidden?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. And I needed an answer to something, so I actually tore through my MCO book one day because I was looking for an answer, and I don't know. Like, it's a ton of information. It's a book like this thick, so like it had a ton of information. It was not plain language, and also like it didn't outline all the things. Like on the CLTS side, I'm sure you've gotten it. Like I actually got a pamphlet, or not pamphlet, it was a booklet of everyone they're contracted with.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get that?
I'm sure.
At the beginning. It was at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's like this thick, and it was everyone that they're contracted with. So you actually knew the things that you could ask for. And that was the first time, like, oh. And I didn't look at it right away. I think I was probably enrolled for at least 6 months before I actually went through it. But that's how I learned about like that you could do like karate, and they could fund karate, and they could fund one-on-ones for karate so that the kids could be more successful. Like all those little weird things that you wouldn't even think to ask, but it was in the book, so I asked. Likewise, on the adult side, like if it was written down somewhere that it was an option, that would be really helpful.
Really helpful. Because even if it's in a book, I mean, who has the time to sit there and...
But a lot of our members they have barriers, whether it be developmental, intellectual, eyesight, time. Time.
Right.
The time.
I was with one of our members just last week, and she was expressing a big need for her son. And I'm like, you can get that through CLTS. She had no idea. And she shared with me what she was currently utilizing, and it just blew my mind. All of the things that she's missing out on. Just heartbreaking. She just didn't know. I think
there really needs to be more, however it needs to happen, but more of us getting together and talking and sharing, like on the kid side, on the adult side. If you got all like a big group of people who are enrolled in adult long-term care, and they all got in a group and empowered each other and shared their own personal testimonies and their stories, they would all go back to their caseworkers and be like, so-and-so gets this, can I? And that's how we learn. I mean, just like I was telling you, like I learned so much every time I go into these kids' houses about things that my kids could also benefit from. Who knew? You don't know what you don't know. I think we need to set the coffee. We need to talk about that for a minute too. Yeah. The coffee clutches.
Coffee clutch.
Yep.
Jeremy just asked me last night. He heard that term coffee clutch because I say it all the time. And he says, "What is up with the coffee clutch?" Because somebody asked him, "How's the coffee clutch?"
I did look it up. I'm like, I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah. Anything to do with coffee is a good time.
Yep.
I mean, if you add collaboration and coffee together,
I
saw a meme this week that said coffee is like telling a dog you want to go for a walk.
Yes.
That is, like you said, coffee.
Everybody perks up.
Okay, I'll go.
We want, and this has been our goal for years upon years. We want to create a coffee. It's like a lunch and learn, but a coffee hour. And it's about education on not only self-direction, but really getting caregivers and nurses involved. This will go a long way as to awareness of self-direction, but to get people in the community together and give them free coffee. I mean, I hope they show up just for that aspect and will listen to us. But how amazing would that be?
It'd be awesome because they'll learn so much and they can take that back to their own situations and better their outcome. Yeah. Because knowledge is power. And you don't know what you don't know, and you're not probably going to find it in the book. And if it's in the book, are you going to find the page?
Yeah.
When you need it? Probably not. Do you know where the book is?
No. you threw it away at this point.
Can we also add a coffee get-together for people interested in becoming respite providers?
Yeah.
Because I have had such amazing conversations lately based off of our social media outreach. People not even knowing what that was.
Which really just cracks me up that they don't know what respite is. I feel like that's one of them. But when we used to recruit, we had one respite in Oshkosh in the beginning, early days, that was truly respite.
Yep.
And we would try to advertise just respite, and no one knew what that word
Nope.
meant. So we could not use respite. We had to use a different word.
It's too it's too wide of a term. People are using respite in a term that's not true respite, right? So true respite is not technically, it's not really scheduled.
Not usually.
It's normally as needed. So when people come in and say, I need respite on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays from 9 to 1, no, you need a position. So if you put respite out there, people are just thinking
They're
that
confused.
Yeah.
And on the kiddo side, that's respite really is used. That's the bulk of what we recruit for is respite, because the respite time is for when the parents need to leave to get respite from their kiddos.
Right.
They have a different code for childcare.
Yes.
Childcare. So it truly is respite, but it is often scheduled. There's often a scheduling need for it.
It would be amazing to have committees within the community that's just revolved around collaboration, resources. Your interview, Emily, I remember at your interview, you talked a lot about all these resources and that you had to dig for them. And you still have to dig for them, I'm sure, to this day.
Yeah.
Because I can only imagine at a meeting when you're getting enrolled in a program, how much knowledge and how much is just thrown at you. And at that point, you don't know what to ask for. You don't know what's all covered. They're trying to get through all their stuff, just like us trying to do a referral meeting. We're trying to get all of the information we need. They're trying to get all the information they need. And on your side, you're probably thinking, no, but this is what I need, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, pretty much how it goes.
And honestly, the amount of people that don't even know to sign up for CLTS
I know.
just baffles me and is heartbreaking to me, because by the time they hear about it, there's, what is it, 1.5 year wait list usually?
I got in really quick.
Okay.
I got in really quick, and I don't know why. But when Xavier, my oldest, was newly diagnosed, the wait was 3 to 5 years.
So I'm curious, when there is a diagnosis, is that something that, like, are any resources given? Like, you can go to the ADRC? No.
Yeah.
I have a really, really, really good relationship with the person who diagnosed all my kiddos. So her and we would chit chat about resources, largely through their agency. But no one walked me through the process of getting on the waiver, and that was really intimidating.
That's crazy.
Yep, like I didn't even know that you had to start at the ADRC for it. I had to call and ask. I had no idea. And my kids were really late to the game because I was unaware.
Which is just heartbreaking.
So that could be a bridge that could be gapped, definitely, is having the people diagnosing at least knowing of the resource of where to go. Like, start with ADRC.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's a big push like at diagnosis for ABA. Was that your experience?
If the person diagnosing is coming from an ABA company, which typically they are.
Yeah.
So that is what's hard. And so I wish there was more knowledge in the community that's you don't have to do that.
Yeah, it's not the only model anymore. It used to be. It's not anymore. But the reason I ask is because the one question that I had asked is like, how do I get help? And the kind of the answer that I got was something along the lines of like, if you're going to pursue ABA, then you'll need long-term care, which is the waiver. So that's like how I kind of figured out how to go about it, but I never pursued ABA. But like that's how I figured it out, that you had to be on the waiver to access this whole continuum of services.
So we've come a long way. We have to go a lot further then in society.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. But as a company, we have come a long way, and we've been really successful recruiting for these kids.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they are way more easy to recruit for than the adults. I don't exactly know why. I think it's because they're cute and cuddly.
You pull at heartstrings more.
Yeah.
And people like purpose.
Yep.
Caregivers, not only caregivers, but people who have a caring heart thrive on purpose.
It's true. Yeah, and they're just for whatever. We've gotten a lot of caregivers into positions, so that's really encouraging. And we're able to recruit at a younger age. We're able to hire on 16, 17-year-olds, which is very helpful. And a lot of times for these childcare positions that we're recruiting for, it's very appropriate.
Absolutely.
Like really appropriate. and they're plenty able to handle the care needs. Most of our families were not dealing with like high level behavioral. I don't know that we have a lot of level 3s. I would say most of our kiddos are like level 2s.
Yeah, I would say so.
So we aren't getting a ton of referrals for like high behavioral needs. When I say high, I mean like nonverbal, not toilet trained, a propensity for violence, or a high scary elopement risks. We don't have a lot of those kids. So a lot of like 16, 17-year-olds are very appropriate for those care needs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's been fun.
You started doing a push for getting into the high schools and networking in high schools and doing presentations and things like that.
I went really hard last year in Green Bay because that's where I was primarily recruiting. And now we need to do it in Appleton, hopefully before the summer.
That'd be great.
Yes.
We're always looking for different ways of outreach, different networking opportunities, and just being creative.
Yeah, and Green Bay was really excited about it. So like that is still something that we should circle back to in that area too, but in the area for the CLTS kiddos, absolutely. I would have to imagine they would meet us with the same excitement of, wanting to place some of their students in positions, and they're ideal for those kids because it's all after school positions. They end their school day, they go this kiddo's home, sit with them till mom and dad get home kind of a thing, and they're perfect. It's ideal.
Yeah. Another one I see more like paraprofessionals.
Yeah, who need summer work.
Yep.
We got a couple of those applicants last year.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that I would really, really love to tap into is the retired community. Maybe not wholly for the kiddos, because some of our kiddos would probably exhaust that community. But in general, like we have a lot of clients, our members, who just need someone to do very basic light housekeeping, grocery shopping, like the things that keep the home, things they're doing already at their own homes. So like that, like newly retired, male or female, looking for 10 hours of out of the home time. It would be awesome, but I don't know how to access them because they're not often on because they're not going to be on Indeed. They're not going to be on our job boards. And a lot of them are not on Facebook either.
Right.
Some are. There's a lot of people, but not all. So yeah, I'm not really sure how to tap into like that population of like, older adults looking for purpose outside of their own homes, but also not feeling so restricted to like their post-retirement life that they can't go on vacation if they want to, or, take care of their own grandkids, 2 hours here, 2 hours there. So like that's something that's been twirling in my brain lately, is trying to figure out how to get in front of that population.
Yeah. Providing that education of how flexible these positions can be. I think that's vital no matter what age you are, 16 to newly retired. Yeah. Or retired.
And a lot of them aren't hard. These positions are not like hard. They're fun.
They are fun.
They're fun. Like it's.
Yeah. I was reading a job post and Aaliyah goes, "Can I apply for that?" I'm like, I wish you could. Because it's like, how do you not read it? Like the Lego one. How do you not read it and be like, sign me up?
Yeah, I'm in.
Yes, there's several of our positions where I'm like, if I saw that when I was younger,
all over it. Yeah, I can't think of one position that we have open right now that I wouldn't go and do tomorrow if I was allowed to. It's really hard for me when I'm in home not to just, can I just clean your bathroom? Like, I'll just do it like real fast. Like, but I don't because it's against the rules. But like, it's just like, I would totally help these people. They're fun positions, and the little tiny bit goes so far in keeping them independent and in their own home and safe. It's so minor, but it's stuff we're all doing at our own homes anyway. So
taken for granted.
Yep, absolutely. So that's one thing that I would love to do. And I don't know if it's like, I feel like kind of silly, like posting it, like we could post it in like a, what do they call, like a senior center? Like a bingo hall, like a senior center. Yeah. But at the same time, like, are they there either? Like a newly retired person is not hanging out at the senior center. No. So where are the newly retired? Like we're talking like your 55, 60-year-olds just hanging out. Like I don't really know.
I remember getting that recommendation of, because we asked this question before and I forgot who told us, and they said, have you looked into the senior centers? And we're like, probably not the population we're looking for. Actually, some of our members go to senior centers.
Yeah, because like it's like your brain goes there, but that's not. I mean, I doubt it. Like I feel like your 80-year-olds are hanging out at the senior center, but like the ADRC in Brown County, they have a board that would probably be very appropriate because they get a little bit of everybody.
Yep.
They do like their caregiver coffee clutches there. So like they get like that population. But outside of that, I'm just kind of torn. I'm like, where are they? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? Are they like, I don't think Twitter's a thing anymore.
I don't know. I've never been on Twitter, so I have
Twitter
no
even a thing?
I've never joined Twitter.
That just came out of my mouth. I think it might not be Twitter anymore.
I just kind of skipped over that.
Yeah. Anyway, are they like on Instagram? Like, I don't really know, but we got to find them.
Sometimes we do flyers, and one place that I've always enjoyed is the fitness centers and the gyms. Anyone that would allow us nowadays. Everybody's looking for help, so you kind of get into that situation where like Quick Trip won't allow us because they're always looking for help as well, and you sneak it up there and they take it back down on you.
Starbucks, they won't let
Starbucks, they're like, yeah, no,
we need our own
we
staff.
tried. I've tried.
Yep.
But libraries, fitness centers, gyms, I always look like where are they hanging out? We need to go find them.
Maybe they're just simply enjoying the sweet old life on their back porches.
Right?
I wonder, radio or maybe that is like the one time radio works.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't know that radio has been like an awesome for us anyway.
It's so hit and miss.
Yeah, because you have to almost have a plan that you're playing after every song.
Yeah.
Or like in between like a really popular show. But like, can you really captivate what we do in like that short of a time frame? I feel like you need like several segments to explain what we need.
You do,
right.
because so on the job link side, I use radio. And it's so hard because I only focus on self-direction, right? You have 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds to explain what self-direction is to caregivers because you're trying to pull in caregivers.
Yeah, because you can't put it out there as community horizons. It's not.
No.
So it's like, yeah, that's the challenging part. It's like
and
now that we've always been individually recruiting, but now that we are very much so recruiting on multiple different platforms for our members, now we can't even say find us on.
Right. Yeah, because we're all over the place.
All over.
Like everyone's on so many different platforms, and expanding into social media and specifically TikTok. I will say I started listening to the tips and tricks on TikTok of how to go viral and things like that. I'm like, all right, if I'm going to learn, I might as well start listening. And I struggle with it.
Well, to go viral, you have to get real on TikTok. And like, we're doing this. So like, I'm getting close.
This is
like,
about as real as I'm going to get right now. This is, believe it or not, this is outside of our wheelhouse. Like this, you and I are behind the scenes people. We always have been.
Yeah, I'm a wallflower.
So to put us in front of a microphone and a camera, this is outside of our comfort zone. So then we're like, all right, we started with this. Now we'll try TikTok. I cannot for the life of me put myself in front of that camera and talk. And
when you log in, you can probably find it if you go into the drafts, but I have one in drafts and I created it and never posted it.
So I guess
I have to get brave and we have to be vulnerable so that we can reach the population that we're trying to find.
Yes, but that's where they are
because
you're talking teenagers, people of all ages are on TikTok. It is crazy,
and there's a TikTok for everybody.
Yes,
so like there's the funny, and because you can record in 3 to 10 minutes. Like, so you can tell like really long stories and like the storytelling. That's what I love about TikTok. It's all for I love the storytelling.
Okay.
And like they tell stories. So you get into like I've learned so much and of all different like walks of life. And that's how I found out that there's people that are self-directing on TikTok who are advertising their jobs.
That's amazing.
I know, but who would have thunk it? But you get to a point of desperation where you're like, I'm just going to do it.
Well, and we started talking to the members that we support about putting yourself out there, right? They put themselves out there every day, maybe not in a way on TikTok and things like that, but being more social media driven and us being involved. And, we put systems in place for that. I don't know that many people have taken us up on it yet, but being vulnerable and putting yourselves out there. recruitment changes.
It is
Strategies
and it's ever
change,
evolving,
and you have to change with them.
You do, and I think the people that are currently doing it on my caseload are very much enjoying the social media.
Yeah,
but it goes on our end with education, because social media can also be very dangerous.
Yes,
it's very
very dangerous, and like we have a lot of people in small communities, and that's where I'm currently recruiting, and like that just adds another layer of vulnerability, because it's very likely that your neighbor's going to know your whole business.
Absolutely,
because you just list that you are a wheelchair user and that you live in this community, and everyone's like, oh yeah, so and so. Yep, so and so. I'm related to her.
Everybody knows everybody. I come from a small town. Everybody knows everybody's business.
Yep. And I think that's, adds a layer of vulnerability.
Yeah.
But two of the gentlemen that I'm recruiting for in that small community right now, they're both wanderers of the community. They love being in their community. So they're already very well known.
Yep.
They're already celebrities.
More power to them then.
I know. They're already celebrities, and they're both just super neat humans. But it adds a layer of...
And the power of word of mouth.
Yep.
Like, they tell somebody I need help,
and then people help. It's weird. Small towns, I tell you.
I'll take small town any day.
Yeah. Well, me too. We see too much crazy in the big towns.
As sirens are going by.
As sirens are,
Perfect timing.
Yep. But it's been fun. But recruiting is always gonna change, and we're just gonna have to pivot hard. And I can't wait until we're in a position where we've just kind of balanced out, because we've kind of gotten our noggins rocked in the last couple months, and we're figuring it out.
Did we overcome that? I mean, I have currently right now, it's every day I'm sending applicants out to the team.
Yep. Same. Yeah, I finally am in a good rhythm, and I'm getting applicants again. I'm like, thank God. Yeah, because it was kind of intimidating there for a minute. So yeah, we pivoted hard, and we made it work, and who knows how long it's going to work for us. But what we know about our team is that we'll pivot again and again and again until we figure it out.
Yeah, our team doesn't. We're very persistent. We don't fail.
No, we're gonna find the applicants. We're gonna figure it out. And that's
the thing. We've always preached this. We don't post a job and wait for applicants to come to us. You have to do the footwork. You have to go find them. You have to go network. That's with everybody.
And those days are so long gone. And that is not healthcare driven or related. No. That is every industry. That is every industry. That's not specific to our company.
Nope.
Though, you have to do the footwork. You have to want it. You have to build connection. I really believe that right now people are seeking connection.
Yes.
And that is where we're going to find our staff, is people who are done being a number in their current role, and they want something different, and it's going to come through connection. It's been real. I'm really glad that you joined us, and I'm really glad that you joined our team and came back.
Yeah.
And
me too.
Yeah, because you're carrying pretty much all of training right now. So thanks.
No problem.
Well, one day I'll get out from under these caseloads.
Hey, we're a team.
And working. And then around that time, then we'll just ask you to be like the regional manager of the Northeast region. That'd be great.
Did you just promote her?
Hey, you heard it.
It's live. It's live. Yeah.
You guys heard it first.
Yep.
Emily's going to regional.
Yep.
No, you absolutely are a vital part of this team, and just watching it flourish and grow. I'm
so excited.
So excited to see where we go. And I really hope, just getting this out there and getting the awareness out there, the networking piece. And hey, who knows, maybe our coffee clutch will come with it.
Yeah. We did this before a coffee clutch.
I don't know.
This feels a lot bigger than meeting people at Starbucks.
I would like to volunteer to pioneer the coffee clutch.
Okay. Deal. I don't know that either one of us can put anything else on our plate, so that sounds like a plan.
Give me coffee and I'll come join you.
Yeah. You say coffee, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yep. No, I would absolutely love for anyone in the community that wants to explore self-direction and the meaning behind it and the purpose behind it and how flexible the job can be. And we want to be there to help you navigate this system. Yeah. And we'll give you coffee while you listen to us.
Because it really is anyone looking for a true side hustle, regardless of where their availability is throughout their day. I know we have somebody.
Yeah.
We have someone that could use your skill and your time.
It's not just caregivers.
Mm-mm.
We're not, and we often say caregivers because that's the bulk of it.
Yeah,
and
that's what people respond to.
Yes.
But
it's anybody. Absolutely anybody. You don't have to do personal cares.
Yeah. Actually, we have those, of course, but yeah, the bulk of it is supportive home care.
Right.
Let's do errands. Let's do companionship. Let's,
Yeah, a lot of our kids are companionship. Like it's, a lot of the kids that we're supporting, they truly just need someone to take them into the community and enjoy life. Like really, just take them to the pool, take them to the bounce house, take them to the sensory gym.
And it's for people to learn that autism is a spectrum, that they don't have to have years of therapy experience, or a lot of these families, the right person, the right personality, that's what matters more to them.
You just have to care.
That's all. Yep.
The rest comes with.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you.